Hello, everyone. Welcome to ConvertIAS, and my name is Srishti. Today, we have with us Sahars Kumar, rank 153. As you guys know, UPSC 2024 results were out a couple of days back, and we have many achievers from our side too. Today, we'll have a word with Sahars. We'll talk about his journey, his attempts, and what made him, crack this time. And of course, about his option also. So, Sahars, first of all, welcome and a huge congratulations from our team. How does it feel?
Thank you
A
so
big
much.
relief?
So it's been about 10 days now, and like more than 10 days. And I still feel that one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to just be a dream. So it feels very good. And I feel that it has been the culmination of years of efforts, both from my end and from my family and my supporters, my peers, the people around me. So I'm thankful for all of them, and I'm really grateful.
Can you just share with us about your background, about your basic education, graduation, and everything?
Yeah. Um, so I am from Kolkata, West Bengal, and I have been born and brought up there. And since class five itself, I was in. My parents shipped me off to boarding, and so I've been living alone since childhood. And I feel that I mentioned that because the school that I was in, it's called Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya, and it helped me culminate different parts of my personality, discipline, diligence, and punctuality, and all of that, which helped me today. And so after that, after schooling, I did my graduation from IIT Kanpur. I did my BTech there. After graduating in 2016, I worked for 2 years at Ola Cabs, and then I did my MBA from 2018 to 2020 from IIM Calcutta. And since 2020, I have been mostly preparing for the civil services. It has been a journey. It has been a journey with its fair share of ups and downs. And in 2022, I qualified for the interview. I
Okay.
gave the interview, but I could not make it to the final list. And this was a very uh, um, a dark time, and I kind of started questioning everything because I had fears, and there was a big opportunity cost for continuing to prepare. And at that time, I had taken up a job as well in Gurgaon, and I worked there for about 6 months. But then I decided to come back and prepare once again because this was supposed to be my final attempt. And I decided that I must do it justice, and I left my job and I gave my final attempt, and thankfully I got in my name in the list.
It's a very deadly combo. IIT plus IM. Very, very, very nice. But then, so it was cracking UPSC or targeting UPSC was always in your, project line. Ki ye karna hai. This was always in your line.
It was, come to think of it, it was always there, but there were times when the call was high or call was large, but there were times when it was subdued, it was muted. It was always there because even while I was working in the corporate sector, I there was a feel of there was a uh, um, an idea of cognitive dissonance that I was facing, that I wanted to work for welfare, but I was not being able to do that. And that is why society was always there. And more so because my father, he himself was in customs and he retired a few years ago. And he had been encouraging me throughout that you should consider this. And that is when, since 2020, that is the main reason why I kind of gave up my campus placement and got into this entire thing.
Sahas, what was your daily preparation routine like? And was it that you started with your answer writing, which we all know your mains and interview how important they are? Did you inculcate your mains answer writing practice from your, first or bilkul first day only, like initial days only, or it was like gradually you shifted to it?
So initially, all my energies were targeted towards clearing the prelims. And although I felt that mains is also one big hurdle that I need to cross, but then prelims was the hurdle right in front of me. So everything was targeted towards prelims. But later on, when I in my first attempt, it's in my 2022 attempt, that is, after I cleared prelims, that's when I realized that prelims is only the first hurdle and mains is an entire beast itself. And I feel that the 2022 attempt gave me a lot of learnings, things that I incorporated into my 2024 attempt, this attempt. And I am thankful for that attempt. And somehow I feel that even if I was not able to clear it that time, I feel that the amount of learnings and lessons I learned helped me immensely this time. So regarding the question that you asked regarding the mains practice, initially I started after my prelims, but now I realize that how important it is that even before prelims, say prelims could be, say if you are preparing for 2026 prelims, then it's quite far away. So we can work on mains answer writing and develop our basic ideas so that those 3 months between the prelims and mains does not become too intensive.
What do you think you did differently this time? And what do you think that, being part of the ConvertIAS mains answer writing program, made sure you crack it this time, especially with review and evaluation? Tell me about that.
Okay. So this time, like I said, there were a lot of lessons that I learned from my last attempt and previous attempt, and I brought in like developing the tendency of writing, practicing means answer writing. I started this way back in 2024 was my attempt. So I started practicing means answer writing for that particular attempt since August 2023.
Hmm.
So there was a quite some many months that I gave before my prelims itself for developing that basic fundamentals of answer writing. Along with that, what I was really thankful for is in terms of the ConvertIAS evaluation is the kind of the kind of suggestions, the kind of feedback that they provide. That these are certain improvements that we can make. It could be database improvements that there's a one point or there's one data point that can be added or an example, or it is also suggestions based on structuring your answer, how we can make it more appealing because we all know that it's very monotonous for an evaluator who's checking our main answers. And it is actually the game is how we can make it more appealing to him, how we can, him or her, how we can make it more interesting so that the few minutes that they give to our answers, they are able to get the most of it. So this basic, this idea or this quality was what I was able to develop a lot through the feedback that I got at ConvertIAS. And I had been a regular subscriber of ConvertIAS, and I have been, talking to my friends and also encouraging them to join this because of specifically because of the quality feedback that they provide.
That's good. And what about the mentorship sessions you had? And what do you think, how important were they in your journey, especially the journey where you eventually cracked it? Because last time when you cracked it, you tend to remember all those things. Okay, I did this, and these things help. So, how did the mentorship help you?
So, in my opinion, mentorship is one of the most important part of this particular exam, and I consider mentorship to be even more important than classroom teaching because classroom teaching is one thing that there's a lot of YouTube videos available. There's a lot of information available. There are a lot of students who clear this exam even without classroom teaching, but uh, I believe that even despite if you have classroom teaching or not, mentorship is very important because it this exam is a very intricate and complex exam. You have to know what exactly is the demand of the different stages, prelims, mains, and interview. And for that, it's important to get in touch with somebody who has been through the process or who can guide you the do's and don'ts. Because there are very easy traps, like something as simple as answer writing. I remember my first answer writing that I'd done for mains. I mean, just a practice answer writing, and I'd just written it in a paragraph form and very small handwriting, and it was not appealing at all. And yes, and also I remember the first full length that I'd given for mains, practice full length. I was able to attend only 13 questions out of 20. So from 13, a mentor can guide us with the do's and don'ts on how to bring it up to 20. So yeah, mentorship is very important, and I was thankful. I'm grateful to have had mentors around me. I had been part of an institute in Kolkata called Educrat, and there itself, mentors were always helpful, always available, and always ready to guide us through any issue or hurdle that we might be facing. So, yeah, mentorship for me is very, very much important for this particular exam.
You had PSIR as your option, right? How did you
Yes.
decide on that, and what was your strategy and your approach regarding that?
So for PSIR, I was earlier not sure what to keep as my optional because I had come from I did my BTech in biotechnology. So I had a background of biotechnology, which has an option available. There's also management, which is again my background. That option is also available. So I was confused. And for that, what I did, I talked to my mentors and they encouraged me that I should go through the syllabus of these particular subjects and also the previous year question papers. So I was going through all of that, and I realized that the syllabus and the kind of questions that is asked in UPSC is
Doable.
somewhat dissimilar to the things that we have studied in college, and that's why I decided to keep an open mind about what option I choose. And I started looking at other options, other scoring options, and I came across political science and international relations. Now I realized that while I was studying for prelims, while I was studying current affairs, reading about international relations is something that always excites me and interests me. So I realized that when I was going through the paper two of PSIR, I realized that this particular paper is something that I can easily complete it and easily prepare for it. And that is why I realized that I'll have to focus all my efforts only towards paper one. And so since then, it was a no brainer. I had to go ahead with PSIR, and I'm thankful that I did. Regarding the preparation, I got hold of so there are certain notes available online. I bought notes of Shubharanjan ma'am from Delhi. I got them couriered, and that was my go-to source for preparing for civil services. Apart from the current affairs that is covered, and I feel that for PSIR again, what's important is answer writing. What's important is having an analytical mindset because it asks that particular mindset in the answers. It asks an analytical mindset, something different from GS answer writing. And for that again, so ConvertIAS actually was the only place. I did not join any test series for PSI answer writing. And looking back to it, I feel that I should have. It may have fetched me a few more marks. But anyway, so ConvertIAS was the only forum, only platform where I got my PSIR answers verified and checked. And yeah, I feel that it helped me bring my PSI marks to a great extent. I think I scored 274 marks in PSI. So I feel like I'm really glad that ConvertIS, the feedback, it helped me a lot.
What is your opinion, or what do you want to give a message to those who are preparing aspirants? Because there is a constant confusion. Current affairs kaise kare? How, to what extent should we cover it? Also, what was your approach regarding that?
So my approach for current affairs differed from the stage of exam I'm in. So for prelims and mains, I had a particular approach, and for interview, there was an entirely different approach. First, I'll talk for the interview. For the interview, I spent about 6 hours, 6 7 hours every day going through both the Indian Express and the Hindu, end to end. And apart from that, I also at times went through Times of India or other Financial Express or other newspapers, but mostly it was Indian Express and the Hindu, 6 7 hours per day. So regarding prelims and mains, what I did for current affairs is I got hold of. So there are different websites civil services related websites that have daily news analysis or they present current affairs in a document format.
Ah,
And what I had done is I found that Drishti IS publishes a daily news analysis every day, and there it has they cover the current affairs in a very beautiful and very comprehensive manner, which also ensures that certain parts of my static gets revised along with the current affairs. So I found it very helpful, and I what I did is I ensured that every day, so for the past 4 5 years, give or take, every day I had been reading the daily news analysis of the GIS without fail. So I had set this internal target for myself that come what may, if even if I am away, even if I'm traveling or I am at a friend's party or engagement, whatever, I would definitely make sure that I will not close the day before I'm finishing those current affairs. So for my suggestion is it is important for students to choose their source that suits them. So I cannot suggest any source, any particular source that will suit everybody.
Yeah.
Every aspirant has their own journey, and so it's important for us to choose the source that suits you. And then it's important that every day without fail you are reading current affairs instead of reading magazines or just accumulation of monthly or weekly news, because that becomes very difficult to retain all that information overload. So it's important that we read it every day, because if we are consuming information in small parts, then that will be more helpful and we can retain it much better.
Much better. Before we wind up, just a last quick question, and just give me like one or two important points. What are the mistakes which should be avoided by every aspirant in this journey? What do you feel, in your opinion?
Uh, so, in my opinion, there are a few mistakes that I have come across peers and friends doing, and so this is rather than advice.
That's
So,
fine.
uh, yeah, so a lot of students, a lot of peers, they come over to me and say that I want to prepare for this exam. I really want to, but then I have got responsibilities. I've got like people depending on me, or my parents are they're not really interested and they want me to get married or whatever. And my advice is that if you have decided that you want to take on this journey, actually somebody rightly said that our training to become an officer starts on the day we decide to prepare for the civil services.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion is that it's important that if we have decided to take this up and make it a goal, then it's important to be a bit selfish, at least for a year or two, when we tell our family, our dependents, that this is something I've decided, and it will definitely be a huge benefit. It will definitely help us out, and it will definitely be a win in the long term. But there may be short term challenges. So it's important that we be a bit selfish, because even I was staying at home and studying, and I was seeing my parents working and helping me out throughout. And there were times when I felt guilty that I'm not doing anything. I'm just staying in my room and just getting my parents to work for me and all that. But then I decide that okay, this is something that I've done. I've decided this, so I must face the challenges that comes with it. And that's why I say that it's not just an exam for an individual, for a student. It's an exam for the entire family, because there are a lot
Correct.
of challenges, a lot of issues that they face here. So that is one my major advice. And apart from that, people talk about diligence, punctuality. It's important that we have a routine. We stick to that routine, come what may. Like I mentioned about the current affairs. So these are definitely basic
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah,
Basic.
this is something I want.
All right. Thank you so much, Sahars. And the tips you have given, I'm sure it will help many aspirants, because this is
Yeah.
something, there are many people who are there have worked and dropped and then clear their exam. Uh, all the best to you. I hope you do well, and I hope we meet soon. So best
Thank you so
wishes.
much.
Okay.